में पहले क्षेत्र में चीन को देखते हुए अपना पोजीशन तैयार किया।
Sena Medal. Ghosh, an eminent born in Delhi in the year 1943. Mr. Ghosh graduated from St. Stephen's College in 1960. He was the first to inform of Headquarters Eastern Command. A brief intro to the General Officer. General Seth assumed the appointment of Major General General Staff Headquarters Eastern Command on 25th of July 2024. An alumnus of the National Defence Academy and the Indian Military Academy, the General Officer was commissioned into the Madras Regiment in December 1991. He has attended important professions, including the prestigious keynote address. I hand over the proceedings to General Seth.
Can you hear me? सुनाई दे रहा है? Mr. Ghosh, Mrs. Ghosh, very warm welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, media fraternity. Thank you for joining us on this very important curtain raiser occasion. I shall deliver the keynote address and then we'll request our veteran journalist to share some thoughts with us. So on this momentous occasion of the 53rd Vijay Diwas, on behalf of Lieutenant General Ramchandra Tiwari, Uttam Yuddha Seva Medal, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Sena Medal, General Officer Commanding in Chief Eastern Command, I welcome these distinguished members of the media fraternity. And formally, I also extend a warm welcome to our veteran journalist, Mr. Ghosh, Mrs. Ghosh, who had covered the 1971 war from ground zero. As we speak, all of 53 years ago, at the same time and date of 6th December 71, the Indian Army was involved in fierce battles all along East Pakistan and India border. The Mukti Bahini was fully integrated into these operations and provided exceptional support to defeat the enemy forces. Let me go back further in time. The partition of the Indian subcontinent in 1947 that led to the formation of West and East Pakistan unfortunately overlooked some of the basic constituents of a nation in form of geography, culture, and of course linguistic dimensions. Ever since partition, the people of East Pakistan were treated as inferiors by their Western counterparts, who tried to impose their own culture and language on this Bengali populace. The refusal of West Pakistan authorities to honor popular mandate of the 1970 elections set in motion a series of events that, as we all know, eventually culminated in the birth of a new nation. With the denial of equal representation in government, lack of freedom of expression, and very meager economic development, the people of Bangladesh rightfully demanded equal rights, which first started in the form of peaceful protests. And to quell these peaceful demands, Pakistan Army unleashed unprecedented levels of violence and atrocities on the Bengali populace. This was called Operation Searchlight. It was launched by Pakistan, during which thousands of Bengali nationalists were killed, arrested, and it finally proved to be that turning point. These repressive actions spurred the native Bengalis to pursue their struggle for freedom from oppressive Pakistani dispensation. However, with ever increasing brutality by the Pakistan Army, large number of people fled East Pakistan to seek refuge in India. Many of them came to our own state as well. You all are aware that on 3rd December 1971, Pakistan launched a series of airstrikes on our country, thus drawing us into the war. Responding to unprovoked aggression, India retaliated with full might and full measure, unleashing a multi-pronged attack on Pakistan. Now in the Eastern Theatre, along with our brave friends, the Mukti Jodhas and the civil population of East Pakistan, the speed and strength of Indian offensive eventually led to the capitulation of the Pakistan Armed Forces in East Pakistan. This remarkable achievement, as we all have heard, it demonstrated our strong national will and commitment to support our friends and our neighbors. In just 13 days, it was just a 13-day war, Dhaka fell to the Indian Armed Forces and the Mukti Jodhas. Lieutenant General Niazi, with all his Pakistani troops, surrendered to the Indian Armed Forces, led by Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora, who was the General Officer Commanding in Chief Eastern Command. Furthermore, in an excellent diplomatic maneuver, the Indian government secured the release of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman from Pakistan, who became the first Prime Minister of Bangladesh in January 72. I must also take this opportunity to highlight that true to our national values, the units of Indian Army started to exit Bangladesh from Jan 72 itself, and within 3 months, the last of the Indian units exited by March 1972. Our two nations share a common ancient history and culture, and our defense forces have also shared a cordial relationship over these many years through a number of joint exercises, training, courses. Here at Fort William, where we sit and where we hold this curtain raiser today, we take great pride that Eastern Command was the center, and it was at the center stage of the historic struggle and fight against the oppressive dispensation of West Pakistan. And it is therefore apt that the epic victory be celebrated in a befitting manner at this very Eastern Command headquarters at Fort Williams. War veterans who had taken part during the 71 war will be attending events as they unfold. Eastern Command will be conducting a series of events which includes an interaction with our war veterans, military tattoo, wreath laying, and so on. We will be sharing details of the events with our media friends so that you can experience our war veterans and they can share their stories with the youth and with the young generation. Finally, ladies and gentlemen present here, I would like to request the media to spread greater awareness about the historic victory amongst the people. Urge them to join us in this year's celebrations. We would like to reach out to the public through your esteemed newspapers, through your media channels, TV channels about our celebrations. Separate press enclosures have been catered for in all our functions that are followed. And my staff will be sharing all these details with you. We really look forward to a meaningful and constructive engagement with our media fraternity in all our future endeavors. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here and being part of this celebration. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Happening across the border when even the operation search right took place on 25th March night. Whatever little was coming was absolutely a trickle. So I felt that, well, it's high time that we Indians did something. And also the Bengali spirit in me was stirred by the, mass killings that were, reports of mass killings were coming all right from across, but my Bengali spirit in me, stirred me and said that I must do as a journalist something.
मैं अभी पता करके आता हूँ।
Ashamed that that gnawed my conscience. The whole night I could not sleep that night, and my conscience stirred inside me, and I said I must do something. And next morning I found in the papers, just a small four-liner with a Bangkok Dateline story saying that foreign tourists from Bangkok who had arrived in the Thai capital had seen trucks loaded with dead bodies being taken out of Dhaka. They had seen this while they were coming on their way to the airport. I said, there must be a way to get around the obstacles that I am facing in reporting the war. So what I decided, I went to the BSF headquarters here. Mr. Gaurav Muzumdar was at the IG. I said, sir, I want to go to BSF. He said, it's a very risky ball game. Are you prepared to take the risk? I said, sir, yes, I am anything. So what I did, with 10 rupees in my pocket, he said, there is a commandant called Mr. K.B. Singh at Benapur Petropol border. Go and see him. He might help you with some details about what's happening across the border. Because no news was coming from inside East Pakistan, neither inside East Pakistan. I went to KB Singh. KB Singh was not very helpful, but yet I stayed on right at the zero line throughout the day. And in the evening I found with 2 briefcases in hand approaching the Indian side. Soon after, he was whisked away by the Pakistanis to their, for interrogation.
अरे
This neighbor of ours, this principally troublesome neighbor of ours. My mind travels back to 53 years ago. On this day, 6th of December, Jessore was liberated. And I was an embedded journalist with the 9th Mountain Division led by Major General Dalbir Singh. The Pakistani forces led by Brigadier Hadar Khan, there was a full brigade posted in Dhaka in Jessore, which got hounded out by our 9th Mountain Div, and they started fleeing towards Khulna. So this day I remember how the people of Jessore town, came out on the streets and greeted the valiant jawans of the Indian Army with open arms. And I don't know what would be their reaction today if they go to Jessore now. Because a lot of water has roamed down the Ganga since then, and Bangladesh is now a ball game. I don't want to go into that, but I feel nostalgic about, my coverage of the Bangladesh war from 6 to 17 December when Khulna fell and when Brigadier Hayat surrendered to the Indian Army, to the joint command of the Indian Army and the Mukti Bahini. This what you call, what ground is it? Circuit House ground of Khulna. It was a tumultuous event. Lakhs of people have converged on the Circuit House Maidan to see the surrender ceremony. Because the Pakistani army, the 4th Brigade had put up a stiff resistance. In fact, some of the grimmest battles that took place during the 13-day war were fought in the Khulna sector. The Battle of Shiromani, there are certain regiments of the Indian Army which own the battle honors. Battle of Shiromani and Fultala is one of those, or two of those. So fiercest battles. I was witness to some of the glorious scenes that I have seen in my life. For headless Jawans, bodies of headless Jawans being brought to the MI room and for whatever could the doctors do to them. But that's all of the past. Now let me go to the main subject of my presentation. For the first time in 53 years, a pall of bloom hands over the observance of this year's Victory Day or Vijay Diwas, which commemorates the surrender of Pakistan Army's Eastern Command to the Joint Command of Bangladesh's Mukti Bahini and Indian Army in Dhaka on 16 December 1971. This is because of the recent traumatic events that have overtaken our immediate eastern neighbor, where there has been a regime change of pro-liberation forces led by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who has been unconstitutionally repressed through political and diplomatic machinations and unprecedented street violence indulged by the military-backed pro-Pak defeated forces of the 19 Liberation War. This means